year we saw him have a bounce-back year, 39 touchdowns, 15 picks. And they need him to be healthy. And if that means taking a little time and maybe missing a game or so to get him right, I think that's the way you got to handle it. But I'm not ready to panic. Oh, my God, we're going to go through another year of not having Andrew Luck, and it's the end of the world. I just think it's because it's him. People are panicking because of what we see. But I think it's more the right approach to deal with Andrew Luck in this situation.
Rob, you have to be concerned because it is Andrew Luck. Because you know this is our guy. This is the franchise.
But it's not the same injury is what I'm saying.
I don't care what injury it is. I don't care if it was a hair on his head. We have to take care of this. We have to be concerned because this is what makes us go. You mentioned it. With him on the field, we don't know how great they can be.
No doubt. That's no doubt.
Without him out there, we're not even talking about the Indianapolis Colts. Look at this. In last year, they were 7th in passing, 7th in points, passing yards per game. The year before, when he missed all of 17, they were 30th in both categories, passing yards per game, like total yards. And then the year prior to that, in 16, they were 4th and 9th. So he is a difference maker, regardless of who you have at receiver, regardless of who you have in the backfield. We've seen him do it regardless of who you have up front blocking.
That's why I mentioned him in the same breath with Aaron Rodgers. When he's on that team,
he's that type of a player that you have to be concerned about his health. And with him, as you mentioned, not taking a snap since, when was it? July?
July 29th.
You're thinking, like, when are we going to see this guy back at full strength consistently? And that's the thing that starts to draw concerns for me. And another thing, when you have one result coming back as, you know, there may be a bone issue, calf, and now it's ankle. When you start to have some variation in what it is we're looking at from an injury standpoint, now I'm concerned. Is it really what you're looking at?
And Kevin Durant just texted me. Yeah, he's been through that before.
You see what I'm saying?
It's even worse than that because it's been 5 months, guys, and they still are only finding out now what it is. Rob, how are you not worried about this? We're talking about, hold on, not just a great quarterback, comeback player of the year last year.
Yes.
The Colts start 1-5, okay? They were getting shelled. They couldn't stop anybody. The defense improves, but Andrew Luck was everything. So what'd they do in the offseason? Well, he needs more guys besides T.Y. Hilton. They go get Devin Funchess, solid receiver. They draft Paris Campbell, who's slaying, by the way,
Eric Ebron had an unbelievable year.
This is a team built around Luck. Listen, you guys know I do a gambling podcast for FS1. I was in Vegas last month. I bet on several teams to win the Super Bowl. The Colts are one of them. They have one of the best odds to win the Super Bowl. They're not even in the playoff discussion without Andrew Luck. Yeah, this is big-time seriousness.
I get that, but I'm also saying I think that they're taking a cautious approach with him, excuse me, given his history. And then, I mean, you can paint, oh, my God, the sky's falling. You don't know that. And all I'm saying is, if it's the same injury, Greg, I would be with you. But when you talk about something different, you get hurt in football. You get banged up. There's something else going on. And all I'm saying is I think they rather err on the side of caution rather than rushing him out so that you feel good that he's taking snaps in practice when he's not there.
Are they going to screw this up? Rob, the shoulder, they screwed it up. They didn't know. Oh, he's coming back. Oh, he's out for the season. Well, the lacerated kidney that he suffered. There was a quote from one of these doctors that said, Luck's injury from the kidney a few years ago was like something somebody gets in a car accident. And the Colts had no clue. They were like, oh, he's almost ready. Oh, no, wait, he's done. They have consistently screwed this guy up, and it's troubling. Last year, Andrew Luck was here's the history right here. This is really devastating. Andrew Luck was the second best quarterback in the NFL last year against the blitz because his ability to read the defenses and mobility without an ankle injury, he's not going to be mobile.
You just said,
they open against Ingram and Bosa and the Chargers. That is a fierce pass rush. If he can't run, I don't want him out there.
But see, what you just said is the reason why I like this approach, because before they were always throwing stuff out there, always coming back, he's not ready. And in this case, we don't know. They're not going to do that. They're going to take their time with him. Don't tell people he's coming back and it's nothing. Make sure you know that this guy is going to be in the best shape, and don't put him out there till he's healthy. So holding him back, I get it. You want your reps, Greg, and you want him to be out there with all the other guys, but I think the Colts are doing it the right way. Take your time with Andrew Luck, because you've had nothing but bad luck with him.
Rob, I agree. I believe that they're taking their time and they're doing the right thing and taking the right approach. However, they should be concerned
5 months
because they've been down this road too many times. And when we're talking about Andrew Luck, we're not talking about a running back that we feel like the shoes can be filled by committee. We're talking about a franchise guy who has proven that he is a difference maker. Period, clear cut, no confrontation about that. The one thing here that I don't like is the misdiagnosing of what it is. And having played and being misdiagnosed, it's not something that you take lightly as a player, which is why a lot of guys get ridiculed about going and getting a second and third opinion outside the team dynamics and the team walls. And why is that? It's because you have somebody who's not tied to your organization looking at you now and who's not kind of skewed in their conveying
Greg,
of what
just
information.
It's a conflict of interest.
It really
team
is
doctors.
a conflict of interest
really
that
is.
time because you
think
don't know as a player, are you really in it for me, or are you trying to push me back out there when I'm really not ready? I was in Green Bay, and I do not think it was intentional at all. I got my last year in Green Bay, I had a sports hernia. What it turned out to be, well, it was diagnosed as a groin injury, which all signs led to. I felt it similar to what I felt before, and I'm like, yeah, it is a groin. I thought myself it was a groin. Well, I get a second and third opinion outside of the team, and no, it's not a groin, it's a sports hernia. So this is why when you're dealing with players of this caliber, you don't wait. And that's where I'm like, what are you guys doing? Why have you waited so long to continue to investigate what this really is? Like, send him off to specialists and let them figure out and come back with information and intel that lets you know clearly what's going on with your franchise.
I think that's fair. My only concern is I'd rather them take it slow with Andrew Luck than just put him out there to please other people and to be like, oh, well, he's out there, he'll be fine. No, let's not say that, because they've done this in the past and he hasn't been fine. So let's take our time. And I agree with you. Go out and make sure, diagnose it properly, and then get them back.
They are taking their time. I mean, they haven't had any clue what the injury's been since March. I mean, 5 months in. I think
Greg,
it's this.
you say that. I mean, Greg, Jason, you say that. But come on, there are doctors there, and it ain't as clear-cut as everybody is. Greg, would you admit that?
I would admit
everything's not clear-cut.
Time to get a new batch of doctors in there.
No, but there's sometimes they're going to send you to a specialist, or they're going to send you to another doctor because they can't really see or figure out what it is.
All right.
It's not that cut and dry.
I mean, he's had the MRIs, and if the MRIs aren't showing up the information that's necessary, that's when it's like, okay, we got to send them somewhere else. We got to get different scans done so we can really know what's going on. And it's, again, regardless of what player it is, they still should do this. But the fact that it's your starting quarterback and he's that important to your success as a team, as an organization, you got to get this done.
All right, from one quarterback to another, Baker Mayfield, guys, has taken the NFL by storm, turning Cleveland around from a winless joke to being a playoff hopeful. The play caller doesn't believe that everyone has jumped on the Browns bandwagon. However, Baker said, quote, I think in the media and everything that comes with the hype around our team right now, people want to see us lose just because the hype is so real. But we've got to go out there and take it 1 week at a time. We're trying to win every week. Oh, Baker, so well said. Greg, do you think Baker saying that people, what do you think about Baker saying people want the Browns to lose?
I agree with where he's coming from. Ooh. I can definitely understand and relate to where he's coming from. What you have to understand is within the walls of locker room talk and conversation, there's bulletin board material all the time of how great you are or how bad you are. Regardless of what everybody's saying that's positive, what's going to be conveyed is not the positive, because coaches don't want you reading all the lovely things that everybody has to say and everyone is saying. What they want you to have is some type of insight on what they're not saying, what they're missing. And so for Baker Mayfield, I guarantee you within that locker room, within the walls of the Cleveland Browns facility, they're not hearing all the buzz about how special this offensive unit is, what they could be. Well, they are hearing what they could be and the potential. No one likes to talk about what potential is until it's manifested and until we've seen it proven. And so for Baker Mayfield to say this, I 100% agree. I was in the locker room where the head coach put up, guys, don't take the bait. It was everywhere we looked, in team meeting rooms, in the hallways. Don't take the bait. Why? Because he's trying to keep us focused, not looking at what they're saying that is so good, that makes us so good, that they're talking about playoffs and Super Bowl predictions. No, I don't want you looking at that. I want you focusing on everything right here, right now, and knowing we still need to improve. There's still things that we have to build on, and we have to show it every single week. And so take it one game at a time. I don't mind Baker Mayfield feeling this way. I see why he feels this
Rob,
way.
I have a feeling you don't agree.
I don't agree. It's a false narrative by Baker Mayfield.
100%.
First of all, they have 2 of the 5 most popular selling jerseys in the NFL. Go talk to the people out in Vegas and all the money that's been laid on the Browns. So this whole idea...
I mean, what other jersey have they had to buy in the last 50 years?
I'm talking about in the National Football
We saw
League.
LeBron James jerseys at Cleveland games.
But
the Browns.
this whole idea that everybody wants them to lose or whatnot, it's not true. Everybody's jumped on that bandwagon. Media people, fans, it's been people are falling over them. TV networks with the game.
Oh, yeah, I got that number.
The Browns are on, all that stuff. That's not for a loser.
Did you
That's
hear
not for somebody.
Rob, did you hear what I said about what head coaches are going to put up in line? Don't take the bait.
No, but
don't buy into the hype.
But this whole us against the world, woe is me, and it's ridiculous that everybody's already on board. For all the great that Baker Mayfield did a year ago, they beat one team over 500, a bad Baltimore Ravens team 12-9. And people have them going to the Super Bowl.
So now the Baltimore Ravens did they make the playoffs?
That was with Flacco. That was the game after which he got benched. Flacco was bad. They won that game. All the other games, when he was putting up 500 yards against the terrible Bengals and all that other stuff that went on, all I'm saying is pump the brakes. This has been a bad franchise, and they got a lot of different pieces. They got a unproven rookie head coach. If this thing goes bad and they start out 0-2 or 0-3, do we know where this is going? This bus could crash very early on during the season.
Do you hear what you're saying?
I'm telling you.
Do you hear what this is exactly what exactly what Baker is talking about.
No, it's not, because everybody's on board.
Wait, what Coach Mangini call you? Hashtag inconsistent Rob right now.
That's not fair for this.
You're telling me every reason why Baker's statement is factual.
No,
because
it's not.
You're saying why they're going to lose. A first-year head coach, camaraderie not there.
I'm just saying that stuff is all possible, but on paper they have talent. They have nothing but talent. They have big names. They are the darling of the NFL.
Now that's true.
They are
100%.
the darling, and
Greg.
you know it, Greg. Everybody's buzzing about what players used to call the Cleveland